Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Techno Buffalo. So it's been several months with the Asus UL30VT laptop. We talked about this laptop being a very good value for people who want something thin and light, something powerful, and something that has really good battery life with its switchable graphics cards. And then we also talked about installing an Intel SSD in the back of this to really increase performance and also get a little bit better battery life. So it's been a couple of months, and I'm going to give you a sort of long-term update on the UL30VT and how it's been faring as sort of my day-to-day laptop. I've used this a lot. I've taken it to Vegas, to CES. I've taken it all around, and I've got a lot of comments about it. Let's start with the hardware itself and how the hardware is holding up. Now, I didn't clean the laptop before filming the video on purpose. I wanted you to see what it looked like after some use. You know, some laptops are better than others with staying clean, like the MacBooks stay clean very well thanks to the aluminum design. The UL30VT from Asus, not so much. As you can see, the lid here, which is actually a nice brushed metal look, becomes very fingerprint covered. You can take a little bit of Windex and just wipe this down and get it clean again, but you have to do that quite often in order to get it to stay clean. In terms of the hardware itself, the thickness of the laptop and the weight, it is fantastic, and a lot of people that pick up this laptop say, wow, this really feels quite thin and light. I love the wedge-shaped design here. It's very thin in the front, which means that it slips right into a bag or a laptop case without much fumbling. Let's open up the laptop here and take a look at some of the hardware features, and I want to point out some things that have been bothering me. When I first went to buy this device, I checked out reviews for many devices like this and also for this particular unit, and people said, you know, the Asus laptops are a great value, but the build quality is not that great. I have to say that I kind of agree for a few reasons. First of all, the armrests here, or the palm rests, now make a creaking sound. Listen. It may be difficult to hear, but after a few minutes of typing and resting palms on here, they start to creak. Additionally, the keyboard seems to give a little bit in the center. It almost is like a saggy mattress, where right in the center you can kind of feel the keys go down a little bit further than they should. These things aren't bothering me too much because the speed of the laptop, the battery life is all really fantastic, and I'm having a lot of fun using it. Another problem with this laptop is that the glossy screen really gets annoying. Some people can tolerate glossy screens better than others, but for me it's just too much, and it's difficult to see if I'm sitting in the reflection or near a window or something like that. I love the keyboard. I love the clicky chiclet style keyboard. It's got a very MacBook-like feel, and you can see it just turned on there. And we're going to talk a little bit about performance and battery life in a second, but want to finish some other comments on the hardware. I formatted this laptop right out of the box because it had a lot of bloatware on it that I really didn't want. It was running Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit edition. I put Windows 7 32-bit Home Premium on here, which means that I got a little bit less RAM, but it also means that I removed all of that bloatware that was causing the laptop to be a little bit slow out of the box. It also means that this button on the left, which is supposed to let you switch graphics on the fly, is now dead. It doesn't do anything. But that's okay, because what I've set it to do is to switch into that hybrid graphics mode where the performance increases when you plug it in. And then when it's not plugged in, it's using the Intel graphics card, and then you're getting better battery life. So we're going to talk about using the touchpad with the multi-touch. We're also going to talk about performance. Let's move up on the screen. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is performance. Thanks to the solid-state drive and the Intel ultra-low voltage processor, which I think performs quite well, this laptop is fast. When I'm using this, I don't feel like it's lagging. I don't feel like it's taking time to load things. I've got Photoshop open down here. It opens up instantly, and that's thanks to the solid-state hard drive, I think, which makes a big difference in bringing up programs that are stored into RAM. RAM has to transfer the programs, or the hard drive has to transfer programs from the disk to the RAM to get it sort of loaded, and this process makes it much faster. So I'm going to go over here and open up Chrome, and Chrome opens up within seconds, and that same applies with any other browser that I'm using. Down here we've got Microsoft Word 2010 Beta. Look how fast it opens. Extremely fast, very good performance. Let's take a look at the performance benchmark built into Windows 7. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and we're going to go down the list. So what we have here for the processors is a 4.8, which is very solid. Memory is 5.4, which is great. Anything really over 4.5 is really great. And then for graphics, a 4.9 and 5.9 for the desktop performance for Windows Aero and also for 3D business and gaming graphics. And wow, look at the rating for primary hard drive disk transfer speed. 7.8 out of 7.9. The Intel solid state drive absolutely screams. If you can afford the upgrade, get it. It's worth every penny. And the prices are coming down all the time. So I'm going to zoom back out. I have tried rendering HD video with this, by the way. It does okay. You know, HD video rendering a lot of the time comes down to the processor power. And with the ultra low voltage processor, it's kind of clocked low at about 1.3 gigahertz. So it's not really tuned well for rendering HD video, but doing everything else, running Photoshop and internet and going to and watching even YouTube HD video. Let's pull some of that up real quick just so you can see how smooth that is even when we're on the Intel graphics. So we'll go to John 4 Lakers here. And let's bump this up to HD. And there it goes. And it loaded up pretty fast. And let's see how smooth it is. We'll go full screen. Let's watch for a minute.
Generally, I keep personal information out of this channel. I save it for inside John's mind.
So perfect playback of YouTube HD, perfect playback of Hulu or any other video streaming content. It works really well. Now while we're on the internet again, I want to talk about the multi-touch trackpad. It's a Synaptics trackpad, so you can get the program that allows you to do the multi-touch gestures. So what I can do here, I'm going to try to do this, it may be difficult to show, but I'm going to swipe 2 fingers downward to get it to scroll down like you would do on the MacBook. So we have 2 fingers and I'm inching down. Works very well. I use the multi-touch all the time. It's very convenient to use. And finally, one last note, and we're going to talk about battery life. Asus claims that the UL30VT, thanks to the ultra-low voltage processor, thanks to the hybrid graphics, can get up to 12 hours of battery life. Obviously, that's not true. In the first month of using this, I could get about 9 hours of battery life, with some optimizations even, and with the solid-state drive. Now I'm about down to 5. Battery technology still hasn't evolved to where the battery life doesn't decrease over time, so I'm at about 5 hours now, which is still quite remarkable for any sort of laptop, and I'm really enjoying being able to run the Asus UL30VT without having to charge it so often. And Zune software, which is particularly resource intensive, works very well. So I'm going to bring up real quick some of the fancy graphics here, and it works very well. So guys, that was an update on the Asus UL30VT. I highly recommend this laptop. It's come down a lot in price since I filmed the first video about this. It's now $749. Tack on an Intel SSD onto that, you're about talking $950 or $1,000, or you can keep it in its standard configuration. Asus has new models of this coming out this year, so you may want to watch out for that, but of course they're going to start at higher price points. This model, the UL30VT, may be a good bargain come 2 or 3 months from now, right before the new models hit. So that's it for now.